Imagine you wake up, put on your clothes, and hope you have breakfast. After that, you walk. You walk for 9 hours, not carrying a backpack, but many gallons of water strapped to your head. Not walking to school, but to water cocoa plants. Feeling useless and worthless. This is what many children and teens all around the world that are being put to work in dangerous environments illegally face. In fact, you'd be surprised how many companies actually enforce child labor. Nestle, Apple, and even Disney are all supporters in child labor. These companies are exposing many young children to mental diseases, trauma, and psychological disadvantages that will haunt them for the rest of their lives. Currently, there are 38.7 million boys and 8.8 million girls being enslaved by mass-producing companies. 1.27% of these children will develop debilitating diseases, and 80% will die before they turn 40. Now, I know that was a lot of numbers, but let me put that into perspective for you. 3 out of every 5 children will die in the workforce. When children are forcefully being put to work at young ages, it lowers their self-esteem and drones their brain to think that they are worth nothing more of themselves. When we wake up in the morning, we typically get on our phones or eat breakfast or get ready for school. When these children wake up, they don't have that sense of emotion or that sense of security in their life because psychologically, they've been raised to think they are worthless. Regardless how many times mom and dad say, "I love you," their actions are simply just working against them. Mental health hurdles are already as common as some problems such as asthma. An article stated from the U.S. National Library of Medicine. A big factor in this is the child workforce. Child labor has become a socio-economic problem which drains children of their potential and dignity. Although some families argue that their children working brings in more income, they need a safe and nurturing environment to grow, not a stable where they aren't treated any better than the horse next door. On top of all the psychological disadvantages these children face, physical hazards are also a big concern for these children. Sharp metal, rocks, caves, and machinery are just a few examples of dangerous items that these kids are surrounded by every day. Children are also very sensitive to toxins and chemicals polluting the air. Though hiring young adolescents is a cheaper way to mass produce and earn more money, these companies are poisoning the freedom that these children have. The manager scares me when he yells at me for not doing my work properly. 13-year-old Jatan stated, "He's working so that his family can have food every day." "I walked for 9 hours today," said 8-year-old Fatima. She hasn't ever been to school, so she works on a cocoa bean farm and has to lug many gallons of water strapped to her head for 9 hours a day. Ariel says he can hold his breath for 5 minutes underwater while fishing for his employer. Ariel is a seafood diver. He jumps into the water, catches fish, and swims back up to the surface. These are just a couple of very dangerous jobs that kids face when they go to work. You hear these stories and most likely you might be thinking in the back of your mind, this doesn't happen all the time. This is a rare thing. But it's not. These are the jobs of kids in poverty. But even the children in poverty, you know, the ones that made your clothes and caught your fish, they have dreams too. Dreams of being a dancer, a firefighter, policeman, doctor. They don't wake up and just dream of one day being in a sweatshop. They have plenty of hopes and dreams just like we do. So next time you're in a store, check for the label that says Made in the USA. Then you know it is most likely not made by a child in a sweatshop. But if it says Made in China, Made in Thailand, Made in Mexico, then think twice about getting that shirt.